What's up, guys? Got some big news coming at you from the world of Vermintide 2. A lot of balance changes have gotten made today, and I figured I'd just kind of go over them all. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so it might be really long. Hopefully it's not. Without any further ado, Outcast Engineer has gotten some major changes. Starting off, his base health has been increased to 125. He also no longer loses pressure stacks while firing or when his bar is filled. He can also build stacks of pressure while his bar is full. And they reduced the base crank gun starting fire rate and the base crank gun fire rate gain per shot by about 33%. He's also gotten some talent changes. We now have Ingenious Ordnance here. Every 80 seconds, Barden crafts a bomb. Barden's explosives no longer cause friendly fire damage. This is awesome, and I've wanted it for quite a long time. Outcast Engineer, obviously he's got no mobility, right? He's got no kind of like ability to move or survive in any way. So this is great. He can literally just, if he's stuck, right, he can just bomb the ground around him, and it doesn't hurt him, and it doesn't hurt his allies, which is awesome. And every 80 seconds he gets one. That's pretty sweet. Full Head of Steam got changed. Barden now gains 15% attack speed on max stacks of pressure. Over here, Experimental Steam Capacitors has been replaced with Perilous Overclock. Building pressure at max stacks restores 5% charge and grants 10% crit, but damages Barden. Each overclock increases damage suffered. Superior Gaskets is now also changed. Pressure is now lost when firing instead of over time. Each pressure stack grants 4% power. So they kind of swapped what Full Head of Steam and Superior Gaskets kind of do. This one used to give you the 15% power on full crank, I believe. And this one used to give you some attack speed. So they just kind of swapped them, sort of. Bombardier has been changed. Barden's bombs gain the effect of both regular bombs and incendiary bombs, which is what it was before, but now he gets to start the mission with 3 bombs, which is really cool. I love throwing bombs, it's so much fun. Piston power got a change. Every 15 seconds, Barden's next charge attack gains massive stagger, which is what it was, but now it restores all his stamina as well. That's awesome. Gives him a little more survivability. Very, very cool. I would imagine it's going to be hard to compete with Bombardier going forward, but that's pretty nice. That's pretty good competition right there, I think. They straight up buffed the damage of Gromro Plated Shot by 100%, and they increased the fire rate of Linked Compression Chamber by 20%. They made one change to Slayer, and Hack and Slash now gives you a critical hit chance of 10% instead of 5. Battle Wizard was also changed a little bit. They increased the cooldown of her career skill to 50 seconds. Famished Flames, ladies and germs, it's finally happened. Famished freaking Flames has gotten a nerf. Holy crap, this thing used to increase your burn damage by 150%. Now it's only 100%. And it used to reduce all your non-burn damage by 30, right? And now it's only 15. So I think that's pretty massive. I mean, it's still a lot of damage, right? But it's not absurd like it was. At least hopefully it's not. I don't think it will be. So this is awesome. But who cares about that? Because Lingering Flames got a buff. The dot for Lingering Flames ticks twice as fast. The speed of the tick rate speed has been increased by 100%. Holy moly. Soot Shield has gotten a change. Igniting an enemy reduces damage taken by 8% for 5 seconds, stacking 3 times. This used to be 10, so her damage reduction has been lessened a little bit. That's a pretty small nerf. I don't think that'll matter a ton for her. I think would have liked to see this get nerfed like a little bit more, I think. Like that's not a huge loss for her, but it's something, I guess. And then finally, Volan's Quickening reduces the cooldown of Firewalk by 40%. This used to be 30. Battle Wizard was not the only wizard to get major changes. Pyromancer has been tweaked a lot. And guys, look over here. Look at the perks. Volan's Doctrine is finally a perk, no longer slowed from being overcharged. Oh my fucking god! It finally happened. I never thought it would happen. I have been calling for this for years. They've also reduced the cooldown of her career skill, the Burning Head, to 50 seconds. They've also added a new perk, One with Axie, which gives a 50% increased max overcharge. She's finally got 3 perks. Let's go. And this can be visualized right here. You see her overcharge bar looks totally different, way bigger. That's awesome. Ride the Firewind has been changed to give max stacks of 25 instead of 20. Deathly Dissipation has been increased to effect for 12 seconds, which is really cool. I think it was like 6 before, if memory serves, and now it's 12. That's really cool. On the Precipice has been changed as well. The power is now 20% increased power bonus there, instead of 15, I think it was before, when at or above critical overcharge. So that's a nice little buff right there. Love it. What was the Volan's Doctrine has now been replaced by Flame Strike's Tutelage. Sienna gains 80% reduction on venting damage. Each nearby enemy decreases the damage reduction by 20%. And for her ultimates down here, Dissipating Rictus has replaced Exhaust. The Burning Head grants 50% charge speed and overcharge explosion immunity for 12 seconds. Yo! That's cool. I love that. Necromancer has also received a few small changes. For Lost Souls, they changed they reduced the amount of overcharge needed to trigger to 12%, and that's reflected in the description here. Venting 12% overcharge unleashes a soul that steals health from nearby enemies, restoring 2 temporary health. They also say here they increased the stagger, increased base damage, increased damage versus armor, and damage versus monsters. Army of the Dead has been changed so that Raised Dead now reanimates 12 skeletons, 6 of which decay after 20 seconds. How spooky. For all you Bounty Hunter mains, Double Shotted has now been changed. Remember all those times where you would ult a monster in the head with your double shot and you get all that cooldown? Well, that was a bug. For years and years and years. So they fixed that bug that now only one of those pellets is able to get the cooldown effect. So you're not going to be able to get, your 90% cooldown anymore with 10% on a trinket. But to compensate, they changed the cooldown reduction from 40% to 60% now. But you can only get the one. The base version of Shield of Faith now renders the hero immune to ranged knockback and allows them to trample through lesser enemies. So essentially the effects of what was Unyielding Blessing is now just kind of how his shield works normally. The talent Divine Excoriation has been replaced by Blazing Bright. Taking damage grants Victor Fury. Entering Righteous Fury grants Victor a Shield of Faith. Empowered Smite has been replaced with See My Wrath. Shield of Faith now grants Victor 60% Fury. Smite now deals 40% of the attack's damage. Oh, big chungus. That is a nice little buff right there. From Fury, Fortitude has been changed. Each kill now grants 2% Fury, and during Righteous Fury, restores health to the party. Prayer of Vengeance has now been changed, which blesses the party with 25% power versus monsters. This used to be like 35% crit damage or something like that. So I don't know that I love this one as much. I kind of thought Prayer Vengeance was pretty cool. You could synergize and make really nice, fun crit builds with teams and stuff. Now it's just kind of been reduced to a monsters only kind of talent. I don't love this one. And then Unyielding Blessing has been changed as well. Shield of Faith now lasts 10 seconds. The shielded hero's attacks cause the shield to pulse, staggering nearby enemies. And the final hero to receive some changes is Grail Knight. They have increased the cooldown of Blessed Blade to 60 seconds, his career skill. They've also changed Virtue of the Ideal. Killing enemies increases power level by 8% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. This used to be 10, so not that much of a nerf, kind of like that Battle Wizard talent. Not really a huge difference, I don't think, but it's something. And then Virtue of Heroism, the power level of heavy attacks increased by 30%. This used to be 25, I think. It is now 30. There are a couple weapon changes they made, a couple weapon balances that have happened. The biggest one is for the Coruscation Staff, which I think everyone and their grandmother knew this needed to happen for quite some time. They reduced the amount of pellets in the primary attack, that shotgun attack, to 9, down from 12. They reduced the overcharge cost of the primary attack to 6. Reduced the duration of the fire patches from the secondary attack to 6 seconds. So those little, these things, they don't last as long now. I think they were like, they might have been like 12 before. It was quite a lot. Reduce the duration of damage over time from the fire patches to 2 seconds. Increase the overcharge cost of the secondary attack to 9. And reduce the max stacks of damage over time from the fire patches to 5. Not sure what it was before, it doesn't say. But that's what they did, so I think it's still quite strong, but not quite as strong. They also reduced the damage versus monsters by around 20% for Corellian's dual daggers. They also made some changes for the one-handed sword of both Kruber and Sienna. They reduced the cost of pushing to 1 stamina, which is half a shield. And they increased the damage and cleave damage on the first 2 light attacks. They increased the overall damage and cleave damage of the heavy attacks. They increased the heavy attacks damage versus armor for the first target by 20%. And they increased the cleave stagger of heavy attacks. So just kind of an everything buff for this weapon, which is very useful and smart and good because this weapon kind of stunk. They also changed the 2-handed sword for both Kruber and Saltzpyre. They increased the damage and cleave damage on all light attacks, 1, 2, and 3. They increased the damage and cleave damage on all the heavy attacks, 1 through 4. And they replaced the damage profile of the push attack with the damage profile from the Bretonnian sword's 3rd heavy attack. Ooh. For the one-handed axe for both Saltzpyre and Barden, reduced the cost of pushing to 1 stamina, half a shield. For the one-handed hammer for Kruger, Barden, and Saltzpyre, reduced the cost of pushing to 1 stamina, half a shield as well. They've also made a bunch of changes to Corellian's Javelin. Added damage drop-off range similar to Barden's throwing axes. Reduced thrown javelin damage and stagger at drop-off range. Reduced thrown javelin overall damage by 5%. Reduced thrown javelin headshot damage modifier by 7%. Reduced thrown javelin cleave by around 80%. Reduced thrown javelin damage modifier versus super armor by around 20%. Reduced thrown javelin damage modifier by 8%. Holy moly. Reduced javelin melee headshot damage multiplier by damage modifier by 12%, reduced javelin melee non-crit damage modifier versus monsters by 12%, reduced javelin melee crit damage modifier versus monsters by 5%, reduced javelin's melee damage boost when using Shade's career skill to 2.8. Holy crap! Next up is Corellian's Elven Axe. They say they changed the order of the light attack moveset. 1, 2, 3, 4. My god, that is different. So they got some side to sides and then some downwards. That's kind of cool. It used to be like this weird diagonal thing. Push attack's still the same too. Love it. Alright, that's definitely better. A goose to that. And they added new damage profiles for light attacks 3 and 4, which makes sense because they're downward strikes. For Kruber's sword and shield, they replaced the damage profile on the 3rd heavy attack with the damage profile of his one-handed sword's 1st heavy attack. So his 3rd heavy attack is the side swipe, which now just does this similar, or actually the same as the one-handed sword's 1st heavy attack. That's cool. That's it. That is patch 5.2.0, everyone. A lot of balance changes, a couple of fixes, some tweaks. A lot of interesting talents here. I'd be interested to know what you guys think about these changes in the comment section down below. If you would feel free to share your opinion there. If you like this video, I know it's not like super well produced or anything. I kind of rushed it out of here at the last second to get it out to you guys. This update just dropped today. I wanted to get it out there for y'all. If you like that hustle and bustle that I got going on, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, leave me a like, and of course your comment down below. I also have a Discord link in the description down below. Over 2,200 people in there. We play Vermintide, and we play Darktide. Sometimes we just chill. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.